What is going on, guys? My name is Jay, and I'm coming back at you with another perfect run, this time on easiest difficulty. Funnily enough, easiest is deceptively difficult because of how few points you get per puzzle. So you end up spending a lot of time just doing like 1,500, 1,400 puzzles over and over and over again, and getting like no points for it. So yeah, it's cruel, it's harsh, it's a rough time. You can see this is the furthest failed run I had on easiest. Got like 3 different runs to 1900, and yeah, this was just silly. All you have to do is pin the queen to the king here with the rook. But anyway, getting into the run here. I don't know if you saw the easier run, but a lot of checkmates, a lot of low-rated puzzles, but still some surprising ones in there. Something that I've found to be quite consistent is that even with like 1,000 rated puzzles, if you do enough of them, you will get to ones where you just don't really know what's going on and you can't figure it out. And even if you play the right move, like you have to go 3 or 4 or 5 moves deep just to see like, oh, I eventually win a piece, or oh, checkmate, whatever, or oh, I'm making a queen. Like it's tough. So obviously it's still pretty easy, which is why I've been rambling. A lot of checkmates. Occasionally you'll get like a fork or something, but yeah, the beginning of these runs is pretty much always the okay. Well, there's probably the first winning a piece. Yeah, the beginnings of these runs are pretty much always the same because, regardless of what you set it to, even on normal, probably even on hardest difficulty. I haven't done a harder run yet, so I'm not sure. But even on those difficulties, you do end up getting like 400 rated puzzles for just a while, and it does eventually just kind of shoot up randomly. But a lot of just very easy to find moves here. Back rank mate is still very common. Here's a smothered mate. It's kind of cool. I bet a lot of people probably took the rook there instead of mating, but yeah, still pretty dang easy, and we're almost at 1,000. But obviously, if you look at the length of the video, this speed will not keep up. Kind of sad it took me that long to find that mate there. Here's another mate. There he goes. Probably another mate. Yep. Just take the knight. Here's kind of a cool one. You gotta see that his king can never catch up to your pawn. It's kind of fun. Yeah, back rank, easy. Oh, that was a double bishops mate. Kind of neat. Assistance from the knight. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. So I don't think I need to cut anything from this video. I don't think I get any calls or anything. Which is actually, now that I think about it, that's kind of nuts. I just played this one silently, which I don't usually do, but I was talking to my brother on the phone at the beginning of this run, so I wasn't using like my full brain power, I guess, but it doesn't make a huge difference, as you can see. And then yeah, after that, it's kind of funny. Maybe listening to music is really screwing me up. I don't know, because it does seem like I play at least a little better if I have silence, I guess. So I don't know. But yeah, still a lot of mates, particularly back rank mates. Here, is this a mate? It doesn't look like it. Oh, yes it does. Oh, that's a fun one. I like taking the unprotected, unmoved bishop. Always kind of fun. Yep, a lot of checkmates. And you can see we're still getting like 6 or 7 points per puzzle, but that is definitely going to decrease. You'll see when we start getting like +1, +2, and it's just miserable. Because you get bored, I mean, look at this. It's just mate. Something kind of nice is that Especially near the end, I did start drawing more arrows, so that'll be good for commentary and just also following it as well. But I mean, most of these, there really wouldn't even be a need to anyway. It's just mate, 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 mate. You know, it's not rocket science. This one's kind of neat, I guess. You get to see that you could take because that's already long gone. But you know, 2 pieces versus 1 sort of thing. Lot of checkmates. A lot of checkmates. Here's a pawn one, not too hard. The only thing you have to be careful with there is if he ever moved his g-pawn, you just gotta take that, probably. Although maybe not. I don't know. But, okay, free queen. Oh, but it's not, because he gets yours, but then you take the rook. Okay. Mate. Probably mate. Yep. Mate. Yep. Okay, free queen, and we get to make our own queen. Very fun. Yeah, not a whole lot I can add. You know, you have to be able to count. That's a big part of easiest mode. You do need to be able to count, and then see like maybe 2 moves ahead. So, yeah, I don't know. Really not much I can add here. I mean, you know, checkmates. One thing I do recommend if you're watching these and you see a puzzle and you're like, well, why did it end? I would go, you know, pause on the last frame if you can, and then see if you can figure out, like, oh, okay, king can't move here, here, here. Oh, it's checkmate, you know. Or, like, count the pieces and be like, oh, okay, we're up a rook or something. Later on, we do get, like I said, we do get some genuinely tricky puzzles where I just didn't really know what I was doing. Oh, that was kind of a cool one. I like those discovered attack puzzles. So, you know, for those, I mean, I could go put in an engine right now, I guess, but chances are I'll just sit here stupidly and say some dumb shit. Free bishop, free pawn. This guy has 2 queens, so you better mate. Thank you. Oh, nice mate. Didn't take the knight. Very good. This isn't a mate, but we do probably win like a... I don't know. Wouldn't you just move his king up there? Yeah, I don't know. Something else funny that happens to me sometimes is I won't even realize what side I'm playing at first. And like, I know it says it in the bottom right, but like here, you know, it's pretty obvious that you're white because, you know, a bunch of white pieces are on your side. But in the in-games especially, sometimes it takes me a second to even figure out what side I'm playing, which is pretty funny. I don't think that was that common in this particular run, but that definitely does happen. So a lot of checkmates. We're getting close to 1200, which is good. You know, 1200 is kind of halfway between 400 and 2000. But obviously, we're not even 10 minutes in yet. So definitely going to slow down pretty soon here. You see that? We just got 1 point. Oh my god. And you do sometimes just get no points for these easier puzzles. Because it gives you... I think it's like a fraction of a point, and so like later you might get like 2 points, but yeah, it's pretty obnoxious whenever that happens. Mate, probably a mate. Yep. Mate. Yep, because of the queen on the diagonal. Yep. Another mate. It's actually kind of annoying. So, for whatever reason, I've found that when I have to move a piece all the way from one side... Oh, 1200. All the way from one side of the board to the other, it's like the movement is always kind of awkward for me. I don't know, maybe it's like my mouse settings or something, but I've found like the length of the chessboard is like, I sometimes have to like pick up my mouse or like, you know, like move it in kind of a weird way to get all the way over, which is kind of annoying. And there you could have made it with the queen or the rook. Those always make me pause for a second if I see two mates in one, because I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I don't want to pick the wrong one, because sometimes a checkmate isn't actually a checkmate. You know, there was like a piece defending, or he had an escape square or something. So you'll see me. You usually see me pause whenever one of those come up. Nice. Drink some water. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of checkmates. Almost misclick. Wow, I guess I did misclick there. Wait, what was that one? Oh, the rook. Okay, there was a rook. Mate. Probably mate. Yeah, because the rook again. Mate. Yep. Mate. You can see, like, sometimes it's like kind of weird when I do those long rook movements. Like it's just, I don't know. I need to change my mouse settings so I can make that movement easier, because you do so many, just like rook to the other side of the board sort of thing. Mate. Oh, just kidding. Oh, and then, so there he would take your rook, and then I guess you just like push a pawn or something. I don't know. That is a real problem I have with a lot of these puzzles. They just end too early, and like, you know, maybe you figured it out, or maybe you were just like, there's nothing better, you know, and you can kind of cheat your way through. Here we have a very passed pawn, so that rook isn't scary. We just make a queen, he can't stop us, and he can't even make his own queen because we guard the promotion square. It's a smothered checkmate in one with the queen. Yep. And I think we had two checkmates in one there. What is this? So we can take a bishop, and our knight is kind of protected. Oh, we have to do this because it's check, and then we get the rook. Okay. Take the pawn, and then just hope you win the endgame. So that's what I mean, like, you know, somebody could easily just get lucky. You know, they're just trying to trade all the pieces, which is, I mean, basically how I do it. Also, 1300, nice. And then you'd get it right without having to prove that you know what you're doing at all. It's just, like, dumb. That's why I don't, like I said in another video, I really don't like in-game puzzles very much, because usually you just kind of cheese them, or you lose, and either way it's frustrating. Here, okay, yeah. I don't know why that took me so long to play. The other thing is, at some point I definitely go to get food, which I may or may not edit out, just the blank space, but, you know, sometimes it's kind of nice when you pause on a puzzle like this one, get to really look at it, see what's happening. You know, here you can fork the king and queen, it's protected by the rook, but when the rook moves, you get to take a queen, so, kind of cool. Mate with the knight, because the bishop's protected by the queen. Mate on the back rank. Oh, but there's a bishop, but then you promote to a queen. Okay, protected by the bishop. Mate in one. Yep. Probably mate. Well, we take a rook at least. Yeah, we get to fork the king and the rook here. That's kind of nice. Because the pawn is protected by our rook. So we just push and take. Which is pretty good. Oh, wait, no, it's mate, because of bishop. See, I was right when I said mate before. Nice fork. What is this? Oh, okay. For some reason, I didn't see the dark squared bishop there just now. Probably just keep pushing forever. Hope for the best. Yeah. I do wish in those promotion puzzles they at least, like, consistently let you make a queen. Like, I know why they don't, because, you know, sometimes there's some, like, weird continuation, or, like, oh, you don't have to make the queen immediately because you can go, you know, like, take the pawns with your king or some weird stuff, but, you know, it'd still be kind of fun. I like making queens. Mate-ish. No, you just fork. That's still pretty good. Knight protects, so you get to, Take that and then... Oh, and that free bishop. Cool. Because the... I don't know. Probably some... Oh, well... Because otherwise, I guess... You would have taken the rook and... I don't know. Fork! Whenever you're ready. You got this. Yep. Yeah, really these puzzles... I mean, I think around like 1700 this run got pretty interesting. And it could just be because I'm tired or something, I don't know. But, yeah, well, which doesn't even make sense because you'd think... You know, I think I was probably getting like 1100-ish puzzles at that point, maybe 1200. Also, wow, only 39 times for this puzzle. Just a fork, but I mean, dang. I'm always surprised when I see double digits. I think I saw a single digit puzzle. I feel like I put that in one of my videos. I can't remember. Might have been a run. But yeah. But yeah, no, this run has some pretty interesting stuff around like 1700, so I think I really slow down there. In fact, I'm surprised I'm still going as fast as I am, frankly, because like, so 1400 at like 15 minutes in, that's pretty good considering how few points we're getting. But yeah, it's probably gonna slow down pretty soon here. A lot of checkmates. This is mate-ish, but actually I think you just take the rook. Yeah. Mate with the queen. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah, do the old forkaroonie. Let's just mate. Yep. This one, mate in 2. Just move the rook down because the queen's already doing a good job. Take the queen, take the knight. Boom, boom. Take the bishop, take the knight. Take the rook and then checkmate. That is a good pattern to know. Is sometimes you want to take whatever's on the back rank first, because then your other piece can take back when they take you on the back rank instead of taking like in the middle of the board, and it ends up being a checkmate, which is cool. Mate, yeah, still not too interesting. Unfortunately, we've gotten like maybe 2 half interesting puzzles, but nothing hard yet. You know, like here's just a fork with the pawns. The pawn, yeah. There you go. Take the knight and then mate. Yep. Mate on the back rank. He sacks everything. Fork the pieces. Well, that pawn's kind of spooky, but we have mate in 2, so that's cool. Yep. I do kind of like those just because they're consistent, and you just go like boom, boom, boom when you... It's like almost a back rank, but first you have to get the king further away, and then you just back rank. It's kind of nice. That, I feel like I see that pattern all the time. The pawn, where it's protected by the rook from behind, the rook is checking the king, and so it ends up being like kind of a... Well, not kind of. It ends up being a checkmate. I feel like that's kind of a cool little thing I see a lot. Also, I didn't say it when we got 1400, but it's alright. 1500's a better milestone anyway. And a sub 20 minute 1500 at that is what it looks like. That's pretty nice. This one's kind of interesting. You have to believe in your pawn. I hear you have to believe in your bishop to fork. Believe in your rook to checkmate, and believe in yourself to get to 1500. Boom. Not a very difficult puzzle to start our 1500 parts of the run. I thought it was mate, and I was like, oh shit. And, you know, just take the bishop, obviously, but this one is mate, but you have to do the rook. Yeah. This also... No, you just want a rook here. right? Yeah, I think he just won the rook. After checking, obviously. Yeah, still a lot of mates. I mean, because if you think about it, 1500 minus 600 is like 900, and that, sometimes you still get like 800 rated puzzles, which if you're playing puzzles under like 1,000, there's a really good chance, I want to say at least like an 80% chance, if not more, that it's just going to be like a mate in 1 or maybe mate in 2 if it's like an easy pattern. This one, just believe in the pawn, right? It's pushed enough, even if he gets behind it. Our bishop protects the promotion square. This one, okay, we're playing black. You see what I mean? Like, and I think even in the run, I thought I was white there for a second because there were just more white pieces on my side. But that's how it is sometimes. This is mate, ladder mate. Ish, just kidding. Hey, it looks similar enough to mate, you know, you gotta give me some credit. This one's kind of cool. You have to go back and then you go to the right, and it's a little diagonal-ish. Yeah, I'll show you. So, okay, this is good. This around, well, this is right when I start showing at least some of the trickier ones, which is good. So, I mean, the arrows are fun. I like having the arrows, obviously, you know, it provides more of a narrative, lets you see what I'm thinking. But just, it feels so demoralizing to do it for anything under normal, because you're just like, well, you know, I don't want this run to take that much longer, because, I mean, this video is already, what, like an hour and 10 minutes? And then with the arrow drawing, you know, I mean, but maybe it would be 10 minutes fast, or 10 minutes slower, and 10 times more interesting. I don't know. Probably is worth it. Anyway, mate in 2. Boop, boop. Yep. Yep. Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, this one, just have to see which square was safe. Mate-ish? No. It's always really funny when I lose my nerve and go really, really slowly. So yeah, I mean, we're still doing a pretty good pace here. Looking at it, I'm almost 1600, and we've only used like a couple of minutes. So yeah, I must just get really slow around like 1800-ish, I guess. I don't know. I'm probably going to get food, didn't help, so maybe I should cut out. I think it's only like 2 minutes, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Here you only win a pawn, which I thought was like the trickiest thing ever. There's nothing better, but I was like, really? Just win? Oh, and then you fork the king that night. See, this is, they need to let you finish. They never let you finish. Ugh. I don't know why he took my knight there. Just straight up. That was kind of weird. Checkmate. Pawn and then rook. Oh, just kidding, because my bishop. Again, just glad I'm not playing right now. This run was not very fun. Okay, 1600 at 23 minutes. So, yeah, I guess I get real slow. Here it's just a fork, right? Fork the rook and king. Yeah. And then here, back rank mate. Yeah. Win the queen by moving the bishop. Discovered attack. Probably takes me a second because it's a little harder to see when it's sideways like that. I think the vertical ones are easier to see. So we'll see how long it. There you go. Yep. This one, take the pawn and the mate. Yep. And just don't go all the way to the edge there because he has a queen. You check. Oh, and then you mate because of the bishop. Fork. Easy. push the pawn because, well, he gets behind it, but then your king goes to protect it. So you can't just mindlessly push pawns, which I do kind of like. Like this one, you really had to know what you were doing, but that's usually not the case with these easier ones. This one, I'm going to be honest, I was quite stumped. I'm probably going to go get some water because I've already found the move, but I just don't believe in it yet. Yeah, there's nothing else here, and like you only win a pawn. I really don't get this one. I guess his king is open. I don't know. It's just trading rooks and winning a pawn. Kind of stupid. Oh well. Yeah, that's honestly. Just got some water. That's probably the most interesting thing about doing a lot of easier puzzles is that you'll get ones like this where, you know, a bunch of like 800, 900, 400 maybe rated players were just like, oh, take the pawn. You know, like they didn't think about it at all. And then you get a little stronger and you're like, well, wait, we're winning a pawn in a puzzle. It seems kind of sus. And you might be thinking like, oh, well, isn't it a fork? Well, kind of, but he takes your rook. And then you have to take back. You have to take the rook back. And then he can take your other rook. And you take that rook. And then he takes your pawn because your queen is no longer defending it. And then, I don't know, I guess you check. And then maybe check again and like win a piece. But that's a lot, man. And I know this puzzle is going to be underrated. I'm curious. So it's only been played 130 times. I bet this puzzle is rated like 700 or 800, which doesn't even make sense because we're 1600, so maybe it is rated 1000. But yeah, no, it's tough. I don't know. Another thing I just realized, these puzzle ratings, I don't know if they show it before or after factoring in the fact that you beat the puzzle or lost to the puzzle. Because like that would definitely be interesting. I think it should show for the puzzle like the rating with either a plus or a minus and how much it went up or down from you playing it. That would be cool, because then, you know, if you get like a 2000 rated account and then you like lose in 1000 rated puzzle, you can be like, oh my god, that puzzle just got boosted so much. Like, you know, it'd be kind of fun. I don't know, see the impact that you had on a puzzle. Obviously, sometimes it would be like a fraction of an elo that it gains or loses, but still, I think it would be super cool. So, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you can see this. I might have even just gone to go get food at this point. It doesn't look like my mouse is moving, but yeah, you know, puzzles like this are run killers for sure, because like, I don't know, somebody might play like G4. I was really considering G4 because I was like, oh, you know, maybe it like traps the queen somehow. I knew it didn't, right? I see that he can go to G5, but, you know, anyway, I finally just decided, screw it, and I was right. This one, slightly tricky. I was thinking, well, wait, if he moves his rook back to block the checks, obviously I'm going to go forward. I was like, well, if he had moved his rook back, and then if I had taken and he took, but then I think it still works out the same, but I just, you know. Anyway, there's a fork. Don't take the queen here because there's mate. And 2, boop, boop. Go forward after going back. This is a pretty common idea. The rook really helps there, so you get to do sort of a ladder-ish mate. Here you want to deflect the king from defending the bishop, so just move the pawn and then take the bishop. Here, what do you want to do? Oh, this was another tricky one. Okay, so it was actually in the 1600s that the puzzles started getting really crazy. This one, so I realized after like a minute that my bishop is pinned. It took me a while to see that. So the first move is not the bishop. So then at that point you're like, okay, well I could like attack the rook with the queen, but he'll just take my pawn or something. Well, he wouldn't do that, because... Well, he could take it with the queen, actually, so yeah. So, literally, the only thing you can even do here is push the pawn. I saw that, but I was like, okay, I push my pawn, he takes my pawn, I take with check, and then what? And, like, that's, like, pretty hard and pretty abstract for a 1600 easiest puzzle, which means it's probably rated like 1000. I forgot to check for that other tricky one I ran into. But, yeah, you know, you just trade pawns, and then probably with enough checks you will win his rook, but, like, it's not obvious. And again, the puzzle just ends way too early. Or you know what it could be, actually. Since we're down material, the goal might literally be to do a perpetual check, because he could just keep moving his king back and forth from the corner, and like maybe that's the whole idea, is just to get a draw when you're down there. That's whatever. whatever. I don't know why I have so much like mucus in my throat right now. Not to be gross. Anyway, here's a take and fork situation, kind of fun. Here I was looking to see if there were any tricks. Doesn't look like there are. And there we go. Here, you check, and then because you have a mate in like 3 or something, he sacks the queen. That's pretty common, but again, it's the type of thing where you could just guess. Also, ladder mate. It's the type of thing where you could totally just guess and like figure that out, or not figure it out, but like get it right. So yeah, I don't know. Puzzles are definitely flawed. This is mate into this one, 1, 2, 3. Good, kind of like that pattern. This one's mate in 2 on the back rank. Scooby-Doo. We can check. Yeah, we can check. And he can't go back to protect his rook, so it's just sitting out there, because my rook is blocking him off from going back to protect. 1666. Let's go. We win a bishop here. Very fun. Because he stops defending his rook when he takes back. Oh, I didn't see what was protecting it, but mate is good. Here you get to fork, pin, you know, that's fun. Back rank? Yes, and the reason this works is because it's not checkmate, it's just winning a queen, and he can't go back with his rook because it would be unprotected, so he just has to very sadly lose his queen here. So, you know, I always, especially near the end here, I do try to look for better moves, because winning a queen is great, but, like, if there's checkmate, you gotta play it. So, let's see. I'd see that, so I'm like, alright, we better do some quick business, and then we do some quick business. Boom, boom, boom. Classic, gotta love it. It's really weird, because, like, even at, like, 1900, you get, like, just, like, a fork in 1, or, like, something like that one I just played. You know, you'll get puzzles like that even at, like, 1900, but then the next puzzle is just, like, insane. And that's on easiest difficulty, by the way. Obviously, my normal run, it was, like, a similar story, but it was, like, winning in 3 moves versus, like, winning in 13 sort of thing. Instead of, like, 1 versus 3 moves. So here, he does sack his queen. I don't actually know why. I saw that I could take the knight. I saw I didn't have a mate, but I don't know why he took my rook there. That could not explain it. Almost at 1700, that's pretty cool. Yeah, here you can take the rook, because even though he's up a knight, we're in a queen, and there's no way for the knight to stop it. Knights are really, really bad at stopping pawns, like, most of the time. Here I don't take the rook immediately, because I was looking to see if there was a way to do it for free, but he's got a bishop, so no tricks. Well, no more tricks. Here's a ladder mate on my side of the board. Kind of fun. 1, 2. Ladder mate again, with more steps, because why not? Yep. What's going on here? Don't take the queen, obviously. Don't we just take the pawn? Okay. Yep, and the other one, this is a really common idea with these. If you have two rooks, you want to, like, it's pretty much always alternating which rook you're going to check with each turn, which is kind of neat. Here we get the queen, nice, and a bishop, just for fun. Don't know why he did that, frankly. Here your bishop can't move, but you have mate in two, so that's cool. Push the pawn and then back rank. Yeah, because our king does a really good job here at blocking off, or did a really good job of blocking off squares, so you have to go backwards there. Yep, simple fork, simple mate, simple mate. This is a fork of like everything, which is cool, because his rook is defended by the queen. And then you get to take the bishop at the end because we just kept checking him, so that's pretty fun. Okay. This seems like a tricky puzzle that I didn't really know what I was doing. Oh, no, I did. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just glad I'm not the one playing these. Well, I was, but again, commentary me and playing chess me are two very different people. He sacks because it was going to be mate. This one's made after you take the knight. This one's probably mate. Sack the rook. And then, yeah, this is mate because I have a light squared bishop, so he can never go to g8. So that's why you can sack the rook and then take the bishop with mate. So you'll see it in a little bit. Eventually I'll find that bishop, which is a key part. Something else I've noticed, playing it out with the arrows really does help you find those extra hidden pieces. It's basically, like, it makes it like at least twice as easy, I think, when you do the arrows. Even if it's something stupid like this, like that was a pretty dumb, easy tactic, but the arrows just, they get you in the right headspace, and they really do help you see stuff. So, when it starts getting a little trickier, these puzzles still aren't very hard. Like, in a normal difficulty run, I definitely would not be respecting them as much as I am. But it's a pain in the butt to get this far. I've been playing for like 40 minutes at this point for this run, so wasn't super keen about restarting. Yeah, here I didn't really know what I was doing, I don't think. Oh wait, yeah, this one took me a long time. So what you have to see here is that after the check, your queen is either going to be able to take the bishop with check, so he doesn't have time to take the bishop, or it's setting up a mate because your rook on the back rank helps a lot. So you just move your rook to the back rank, it's check, so obviously he doesn't have time, and then you take the bishop with the queen, either setting up mate or checking him, and either way you're both winning a bishop and checking, or like threatening, so he doesn't have time to take your bishop. So it is going to take me a while though to find that, obviously. These ones are easier in post because like I thought about them a lot during the game, and so like I typically remember my thoughts. Like the ones where I mess up commentary wise, or just like say something totally wrong, it's because I just genuinely didn't remember the puzzle, like didn't really care about it. So this one, again, 1700, like they came to they came to play. I don't know. They were not messing around. And like I don't think these puzzles are rated that high, but I don't know how you, it's like a 1200 or whatever this puzzle is rated. I don't know how you find this sequence unless you just get lucky, and maybe they did. I don't know. Also, the king has to go up because my bishop stops his rook from blocking. Well, and also I wouldn't even. It would just be an unprotected rook anyway. But yeah, here, so when you take the bishop, it's not check, so, but if he takes your bishop, your queen's going to go all the way up there, boom, that's check, not quite mate, then his king comes up, and then your rook, almost mate, and then, I don't know, it's probably like mate in like 6 or something. And then he sacked his queen because he was like, no, I don't want to get mated, get your queen off that great square. This one, and it's slightly tricky, not like the last one. Yeah, this one I was just showing. I had seen that the rook was penned before I drew the arrows. But, yeah, this one you do actually take the rook. The reason is because right here, you'd like to take his queen, but he'll take your queen. So we may as well get as much as we can for our queen. So you still take the rook, and then you get to take his queen, and you end up winning a rook in that. So that's cool. Okay, must have been a bishop and NC. Boom, boom, boom. Just doesn't matter what your rating is. You seem to always get those. Wish they had a name, because it is just a back rank mate, but it's like a back rank with a little boom, you know? Just anyway, don't take the knight here because he gets to take your knight, and you can't take his rook because of that. So here, slightly tricky one actually. You have to calculate knight takes bishop, and then yeah, knight takes bishop, and then there, and then there. I was like, wait, but we're equal. So there's probably some reason he couldn't have taken my bishop just now. I couldn't tell you what it was, what that reason is, but anyway, here's a stupidly easy puzzle. I don't know why that one was there, or you know, like that one we just saw, pretty easy. This one's also pretty easy, but you know, not everyone knows about that tactic, the old discovered attack. This one, you have to decide whether to do rook or queen. Well, you do rook actually, because queen had no good places, and then this is mate in 2 more moves because we have a rook on e1, cutting off the e file. Here, what's up? Yep. Wow. Yeah, that was just mate. So take the rook, and then if he takes back with the king, his knight is undefended. If he takes back with the knight, then that opens up an attack. Your bishop gets an attack on his rook, so you get to take his rook at that point. So you either win a knight or an exchange, which means he definitely takes with the knight. Oh, what? Okay, he gave us a full piece for some reason. Because he could have taken the bishop back after, but oh well. Here, just take the pawn with the bishop. He has to take... Oh, just kidding. But, you know, you and a rook. And if his rook had taken there, your queen would have taken his rook with check. And then that would have led to mate, actually. So I see why you did it like this. And just take the rook here, because you have no mate yet. Here, you just, you push your pawn, because when he takes, it undefends his bishop, and if he didn't take, then you would just keep pushing your pawn, ignoring his pawn, and, his bishop wouldn't be able to stop you. Again, we keep getting that one. Every run, every difficulty, that's crazy. Lichess freaking loves that pattern for some reason. It's good to know. I don't know if I've ever actually done it in a real game, so it's definitely good to know. But anyway, 1800, and we have like 30 minutes left. So I guess I slow down a lot. Or I go get food. I don't know if I've done that yet, genuinely. Yeah, it's the same idea as before, except this time he decided to take instead of running away like a little baby boy. So don't take the rook because it's protected by the bishop. Checkmate. And here, So those pawns are super scary, so don't even try to push your pawns. It's not worth it. You just have to stop those pawns, and then he even pushes his other pawn, just ignore it. You have to take, when you have two pawns grouped like that, right near the edge of the board, like, someone's about to queen. You gotta be careful. Win a knight, easy. Win a piece, easy, because we forked just now. Win a queen, and then you have to protect the promotion square. That's the only move that does it. Probably push. No, just do we have like a check? Yeah, we do. So a little hard to see. Your queen can come to the H file, or your rook can come to the H file. It has to be your rook though, because your queen. Well, actually, your queen can't go there safely, so it has to be the rook. And then your queen cuts off the diagonal, your king blocks the other square, so that is mate once I finally find it. But it is a little tricky to see. Rook to H1, yeah. Here you check and then take the queen. Easy peasy. Nice little lemon squeezy discovered. Just make sure you don't move the knight to e2 there, because then the queen would take it, and then you're not winning a queen. So something to watch out for. Here you win a rook, which is cool, and you're not scared of his pawn because you have a rook protecting the back rank. Here you just win some pawns. It's really dumb. And you start with a check. You start with a check because if he goes to the left, you get to mate with the other rook, so he just has to keep running to the right, because if he ever goes left, I'm just like boned. So you just win all the pawns. So not a great puzzle, frankly. You win 2 pawns. Like, you did the bare minimum. Good job, guys. So this one, yeah, you can see I thought for a while. Well, not too long, but yeah. And I found the idea, but I was just like, really? That's 2 pawns? Come on. Kind of lame. I mean, I would probably play that in a game. Well, I'd probably trade rooks, knowing me. I get real scared. I just want pieces off the board. He sacked his queen there because his king literally just could not move. Bishops are busted, OP. And here you have to fork the king and the bishop, and that's why it's winning. Otherwise, it's equal position, which would not be as fun. Here you get to sack the rook for mate, specifically by taking the knight, because it's super duper defended, and then your queen is defended. This one, oh, you get to sack the rook again, except this time you take a pawn. And it's always fun if you take with like a rook or a queen right in front of the king like this, where it's touching. Usually they don't have, well, sometimes they don't have a way to take with another piece or run away, because it's just so close, and so you get to do cool mates like that. The nice little sacrifice. Rook's doing a good job here, so your queen can go bungle off, take the knight. Here I just wanted to make sure there were no scary checks. Obviously his rook comes down, king goes up, and then if his queen checks, I saw that my queen was protecting the checking square. If it wasn't, we would be busted here, but because my queen is where it is, we just get to trade queens instead of losing a rook or getting checkmated. So here you just mate. There it is. The way I used to do puzzles, it was pretty funny. Oh, here you get to fork with the king, which is cool. The way I used to do it, I'd just be like, you always take pieces, and I would just like take whatever without even thinking, which is pretty effective. You can get to like 1600 doing that. But yeah, I didn't really understand tactics at the time. Also, this one's pretty cool. This one works because of promotion, and also my king makes it so his rook can't stop us, so you get to sack the rook again because his bishop is guarding the promotion square right now, so then you take it so that you can promote, which is cool. But yeah, no, I used to just like not even, like if there was like, if I could do a queen trade in a puzzle back in the day, I would just do it. And most of the time that's the wrong move, because if you have a queen and it's a puzzle, there's a good chance that there's a checkmate somewhere. So don't just trade queens willy-nilly. That goes for real chess too, obviously. I know a lot of people either really like trading queens or they really don't like it, depending. Oh, I've got an attacking position, I can't trade queens. Well, it just depends. Here you just win a rook. I wanted to make sure there wasn't a secret checkmate. This one you fork. Nothing else going on. And the pawn was pinned there, so he couldn't have taken the knight beforehand. Here, it's the rook for 2 pieces. Classic. Gotta love it. That was something I had to learn the hard way from just losing a bunch of puzzles. Like, oh, the 2 pieces are better than a rook because these puzzles keep telling me that that's what you do. You always sack a rook for 2 pieces. So, you know. There you just remove the defender again, except also just take a queen when he runs. He couldn't have he could have taken the rook there, but I would have taken his queen because the rook was defending the queen, but then it would have moved to the side where it was no longer. Here the pawn is pinned, but he forgot. Here we take the knight and then take the bishop because the bishop's undefended, and taking the knight is check, which is very important. So he doesn't have time to take your bishop there. Here, check, and then, oh yeah, it's a fork. I was looking at rook moves. Here's a clean fork, easy peasy. King and queen, gotta love it. Knights are OP. And then just run. Don't block, because that block move is not good. The queen, yeah, win a knight. Good. This one I was like, where's my knight? You're supposed to be able to take the g6 pawn or g3 pawn with the knight, and then he takes, and then you take his rook. What the heck is this? This one's crazy. You win a queen, but you're not even taking a piece. You're just giving him a bishop. So a little trickier to find. It's weird. I feel like I'm still playing pretty quickly, but you know, apparently it's like another 20 minutes to get to 1900. That's nuts. I was really taking my time at the end. I guess that's good, obviously. Better to do it slowly than to lose, but crazy. I probably saw, yeah, I'm sure I saw the fork in my head. And yeah, I know I did, actually, because I did a little imagination thing when I was doing it. This one, I didn't see the mate, I just saw it was a fork, but, you know, happy accident. And then here, you have to do the second check with the knight. There it is, yeah. Boom, boom, 1900. Very respectable. So here, you don't want to run away with your king, you don't want to block with a rook, you want to block in a way that also attacks. So that is with the pawn, because then he has to move his queen, and now he loses a bishop, and he moved his queen there because he didn't want to get checkmated by my queen and bishop. So here you fork, and for whatever reason, he ends up taking both rooks. So I understand why he took the pawn. I don't understand. Oh, he took the rook because the 2 rooks are better than the queen, or at least the computer says so. Here, make sure you take the attacked bishop with the queen because our queen was attacked, and then just run away. Don't block it with the rook. Don't be a dingus. Here we have a discovered attack, so discover the biggest piece. In this case, it's not the queen, it's the rook. So just do that. Easy. And I do some more checking. I want to make sure there's not like a checkmate or something here. But there's not, obviously, because I remember this one. So there it is. Yep. And then you have to take the queen first, obviously, because your queen is hanging. But otherwise, pretty easy. Oh, what is this? You can fork, then your knight gets taken immediately. Oh, queen is trapped. Look at this, guys. Queen is trapped. Pretty cool. And you have to take with the knight because his rook was there. Don't take with the queen there. This one's fork. And he has to move his king, because if he moves his queen, our bishop would have taken it. Checks are fun. Here... Oh, you take the pawn, and then if he blocks with the queen, you check the king with the rook to deflect it, and then you get a free queen. But I solved this instead, because if he had moved his king up, that would have worked, and then I had to recalculate here because I didn't see the variation that he did. Classic rook sack here. See it all the time. Mate in 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, because of the bishop. Here... What is going on? Oh, you get to fork the checkmate and the queen, and the knight protects it, so pretty good. Here... What is this? You can check the king and then take the pawn. Hey, this one I think I'd spend a while on, because it's literally just winning a pawn. Now for what oh, this one's super weird too. He does not move his king after you check. He does not move his king to d7 here. He actually moves it to frickin' f7 to try and stop your pawn, which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, because that just completely loses the rook. It's like, yeah, I would have eventually won with the pawn, but like, I'm going to win, you know, not literally faster, but as a human, I'm going to win a lot easier with just a full rook. So, here you trade before you take the knight, because you don't want to lose your queen. Right now the bishop is attacking my queen, which you have to see. It's not the same just taking the knight or the queen. You have to take the queen because your queen is under attack, and also the knight is attacking the queen, so you really have to move the queen. And then you can just take the knight. So here you have to decide whether to take the bishop or the knight. And this one I was like, oh, run's dead. I'm definitely going to pick the wrong one. But my reasoning was pretty sound for this one. There's not a huge difference between them, but when in doubt, trade off more pieces for the most part. Obviously, you don't want to trade off into a drawn-in game, which you would have to know, A, what that means, and B, what that looks like. But in this case, I was like, okay, there's still a lot of pieces on the board, so it's better to win a piece and trade pieces than to just win the bishop, because he probably had a trick or something. I don't know. Here you just win 2 rooks for the queen. Oh, and you get a bishop. So it is more clear than usual. But sometimes, like, there are like 400 or 500 puzzles where it just take 2 rooks with your queen, which is like, is a 400 really going to win that position? No. Am I going to win that position? Probably not. But am I going to win this position? Oh, definitely, because I get a queen for the rook and the bishop. You do lose both a rook and a bishop, but, you know, getting a queen is pretty good. So, we'll do that. Here, it's a nice smothered mate. This one, I quite like. I'm really glad I practiced a lot of mate runs. Obviously, I haven't uploaded most of them, but, like, even the mate in 1 run probably had that exact puzzle, if I had to guess. Or, like, a very similar one. Here's a family fork. Probably a lot of people messed this one up because they took the rook. Just like to see the queen, maybe? I don't know. This is simple, right? Okay, yeah, mate in 2. Don't take the rook here because the queen is protecting. It's a nice X-ray defense. And it didn't even let me checkmate him. Very sad. Here, oh, look at that. We're almost at 1950. So yeah, you fork, and that's the whole thing. It's nice and protected. Nothing better. Yep, that's the whole thing. I am sorry if those like pauses on the obvious ones are kind of annoying, but obviously, like I said, when you get this far, no fucking around. You gotta, you know, show up or show off. I don't know. Here's a fork. This is looking like... Oh, this one took me a little bit too. This one, I'm gonna be frank with you, I also don't understand this one. This is like the 3rd or 4th puzzle where I've just not really known what the hell is going on. Yeah, this, I did not see anything concrete ever. And I'm gonna probably spend like 3 or 4 minutes on this one. Just heads up. Because there's Nothing. I am glad I didn't get tricked by this one, though. There is, after either the first or second move, it looks like you can fork the rook and queen. You can't, because he can always just push his rook up one square and check you, and so you don't actually have time to take the rook or queen in that position. This one, okay, actually, now that I'm looking at it, this reminds me of the other one. Remember where I pushed my pawn, and then he took and I took, and it was check, and then I had a bishop for the rook in that position? This is the same thing. I bet it's a losing position, but I have perpetual. I bet that's what this one is. And that is super tricky. That is so hard. Granted, in a real game, I probably would just keep checking the king here, especially in blitz. Like, just keep checking the king, and then maybe he'll mess up, and you'll, like, win a queen or something. Like, that happens all the time in blitz. So, yeah, this was, 2400 and 2300. Yeah, I bet if you go to the game for this one, it was just a perpetual. Yeah, don't do that. Because there are probably too many pawns on the board, and that probably is losing. So yeah, here, literally just keep checking. I was looking to like try and win something here, but you just can't. There's nothing to win here. It's just perpetual, I think. Again, they don't let you play it out. Like, I don't actually know that, but I'm 90% sure this is a perpetual. Obviously, he can mess it up and get checkmated, but like, it's stockfish, so it's just perpetual. And then yeah, here I think I'm debating between these moves because I haven't realized he can just push his rook up yet and check me. But I did find that before I played the move, because otherwise I probably would have quote-unquote forked his rook and queen and then been in a losing endgame after he checked me on e1 with the rook. And then I probably would have added it to a hardest puzzles playlist or video. So, yeah, you just check here. And then if this puzzle was like 10 moves long, it would probably just be check, 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 check. And, like threefold repetition. Anyway, this one's a little easier than that. All you do here is you take the rook and then you fork. That's it. And then you check and then fork. But, very simple. 1960, pretty respectable. So here, of course, if you take his knight, he will take your knight. So you just have to play a couple of moves so that you can check him with the knight in a safe square, and then take his knight. And this one also took me a while because obviously, like, really? Just winning the knight at 1960 when it looks like I might be able to checkmate, but there's no checkmate. I do look for a little while, but there's no concrete checkmate here. The only reason this puzzle starts with a check. Yeah, and if this move doesn't work, and I saw that he could just move his queen over to the side, and he would actually be pinning my knight to the queen. I was like, damn, that's brutal. So yeah, you just check, and then you check again, getting the knight out of dodge. I thought even this might be mate, but I did find an escape square at this point. I was like, well, shit, that's not checkmate. But then I realized, okay, well, not checkmate, but we do win a knight. We save our knight. Still pretty tricky, though. I don't remember what this one's rated, but it's probably pretty high up there because it's a little obscure, And obviously, like in this case, it's good that it ends a move earlier than it could have, because who's to say which pawn you should take the knight with? Like, that would be stupid if you had to know like which pawn is better, because they're winning a knight. Who cares? Mate in one. Yeah, very weird going from like a 3-move check, looks like checkmate, but you just win a knight puzzle, to just mate in one. Like, it's such whiplash. Here, again, pretty tricky. 2 ways to take the bishop, and you can even take a knight here. But you need to take the bishop with the knight. That is the only move that actually wins a piece, because otherwise you're just trading pieces. The reason he doesn't have time to do anything, well, if you take the bishop with the knight, you trade off less pieces, which is why I think it's better. The reason he had to play that move there, h6, is because I was threatening mate. And I saw that I was threatening mate before I played it, so that's why I did that. And I was like, oh, and then you get to trade off a bunch of pieces. This one is so easy, but it's kind of stupid. If you take the queen with the knight here, it's not check, and probably, oh, he promotes. Oh, that's why you have to do the rook. I knew it was check because I was like, oh, 2 moves, one of them is check. Yeah. Here you win a piece because when you take the knight, it protects your bishop. So then you can bring your knight back, and if he takes your knight instead of the bishop, you get to take his bishop, which forks the queen and rook and is protected by your queen. So here our queen is attacked, but nobody cares. Just check him and then mate him, which you'll see you check with the bishop, because that's the only check that makes any sense at least. And then you just have to find queen g4 after that. So we're getting close. 1976. I can't remember if there's any other good ones after this, honestly. You know, I don't want to, like... Oh, and this one isn't made, actually, because he just runs, but you do win a rook. And I was so shook when I saw that, because I was like, oh, God, what? What? And I was actually really upset that they made you play until you take the rook, because I was like, oh God, wait, what if there's still checkmate? Oh, no. But no, just take the rook. But yeah, no, I even, in the commentary, again, like, I remembered, like, oh yeah, it's mate, but it's not mate. And, like, if it was, like, a 2500 rated puzzle, I probably would have gotten that wrong, because, you know, there would have been some crazy sequence or something. I don't know. Anyway, this one is 2-move combination to win a piece. Very easy. It's so weird. You go from, like, 4 or 5 move puzzles that are super tricky to just, oh, win a piece. Oh, checkmate. So dumb. This one's kind of fun, though. I do like it. You win a queen here, believe it or not. You sack the rook, and then win the queen, which is undefended. I think that's a skewer when the big piece is in front. Here, we're in check. Don't run away with the king, because, you know, why be a bitch? Yeah, and you can't take the knight with the pawn, obviously, because A, he has 2 attackers on your queen, and B, that would put you in check, so it's illegal. So take the knight. When he takes your rook, you take back with the bishop, and then when he takes your bishop, you run away with the king. And so I was just calculating to make sure that there was no sneaky checkmate he had, didn't find one, and there we go. Very close now. This looks like a simple ladder mate from behind. Just a 1-2 combo-roo. He's going to block with the bishop, that's why it's 2 moves. The rook cuts that off. I was so spooked here. If I had reloaded the page, I would have pooped my pants. Because that would have made me sad. Here, I knew that taking the rook and making a queen were probably equal, because I was like, oh, there's no way he stops the pawn. Actually, he does. I didn't see this in the game. I knew, like, okay, probably make a queen with check, duh. But I was like, oh, probably taking the rook is equal, like the same as that. No, because his queen would come behind your pawn because your rook is no longer protecting the pawn. So I'm glad I was like, oh, better make a queen. So the obvious move really saved me there, because, like, otherwise I would have taken that rook and felt like a complete asshole when he moved his queen behind my pawn. Anyway, really close now. Here you fork when you run away, which is super cool. That's why you come forward. And that's the whole thing. Yep, just take it. Yep. We're so close. We're so close. Alright, here. Oh, there is one check that is mate. There it is. Protected by the knight. Easy peasy. Here, I think, yeah, I was checking the squares in my mind just to make sure. You hear, I'm doing that mate in 1 trick I did, because it is a mate in 1, literally. But, like, where you just sort of, like, hover and go, like, wait, could it be? This, I think, might be the last puzzle. And it's a good way to go out, honestly. This is a very nice mate in 2. You know, not the hardest thing in the world, but bishop and knight mate is always cool. And here, I'm going to instantly lose rating, because I was like, oh, the pawn's pinned by the bishop. But no, here you just want to fork the king and knight. So, I instantly lose the rating, but yep, that was the easiest challenge. This thing was kind of miserable, but actually not that bad. Probably only took me like 5 or 6 days. I mean, I'm sure I've done attempts before that, but I don't know. Anyway, really not too bad. Kind of fun, and I'm talking too much, so I'll see you guys. Peace.